G'day and welcome to Bums on the Bench. My name is Jacko and with me are two guests. One is a giver of orgasms. The other is a taker of orgasms. Josh and Andy.
And let me tell you, we work together.
I think that's the only positive thing that can be said about that sentence. That was pretty good, man.
Oh, no, you haven't seen the results come back from the doctors yet.
Oh yeah, true.
But we're loving life, having a great time. Weather's beautiful down here. Everything's been pretty great down this storm front. How about yourself?
I think it's been good.
Yeah?
I think it's been good. I can't remember much anymore, so I might be dying. But the good thing is, I can't remember anything anymore, so I'm not that worried. So we've got sports to talk about. We do. We do have some sports to talk about.
We haven't asked Andy how he is yet.
No, I don't care.
I care.
Andy, how are you?
You can ask a little bit better.
He's going to ask me the same question on the next show, so he doesn't care right now.
Oh, so he's going to ask you more dumb facts about the Olympics?
Probably, and I'm not going to answer. I'm just going to talk about
I have
cars.
no trivia today.
You need to bring it back because we've only done 2 and you said you were going to keep tally.
Yeah, and I think from memory,
See, this is how good he is. He can't even remember who's leading.
I think it's Josh actually in like 2 very big upset rounds by accident.
Fuck's sake.
Like I can distinctly remember.
I'd like to confirm that story.
Yeah, I distinctly remember him leaving happy and you telling me to get out of your house after the last time we played trivia.
That's every time, though.
It is. So I thought we'd get a little bit philosophical to begin the show. Last week was science and sociology. Today's philosophy.
What does it mean to play sports?
Yeah, similar. But the big philosophy question is, why is every sport just like corrupt? Like in general.
Oh shit! All right, here we go. Lay straight into it. What do we got, Jack?
So it's a motorsport thing. Andy and I.
Of course, it's a motorsport thing.
It's a Formula One thing.
I thought we had a whole other show dedicated to this.
No, it's only onto one motorsport in particular.
Yeah.
So motorsport in general technically comes on this show.
Yes, motorsport in general here. Formula One's on the other show.
Wow, and guys, I like to announce my retirement as of tonight.
But this has nothing to do with racing and everything about suing people.
All right, let's roll.
That's our next show.
Yeah, we're doing it twice.
Oh, fuck.
I didn't bring any content. I'm whipping this dead horse until it stops spitting out ad sponsorships.
We don't have ad sponsorships.
Well, yeah.
I feel real bad for this fucking horse then.
Let me tell you, Chuck's Tools, they're yep. No, I cut that.
I would 100% be sponsored by Chuck's hand wipes.
Dude, I use Chuck's all the time. They're fantastic, but I constantly have to keep telling the people that clean our office, please stop chucking them out after one day.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Yeah, like, man, it's so wasteful.
Just because it's in the name doesn't mean you have to chuck it out.
Well, bro, I'm just doing what it says.
Let's talk about sports.
Okay. So let's pull the Band-Aid off. Matildas. We gassed them up a little bit too much, I think, gentlemen.
Yeah,
they ran out of gas. That's what happened.
They faced 2 teams that ran all over them, and
They basically went to the petrol bowser, saying it was like $2.50, and went, nah, I'm going to put that fucking cheap E10 in, and that's what happened. They went ape shit.
like they tried their counter-attack offensive, especially against England, the majority of the game, and it was clearly showing that by giving the ball, England was still able to manage and take it downfield. Like, they weren't able to get these, slide attacks coming in. They weren't able to actually start getting momentum, and it was showing.
Yeah, so the England game I watched start to end, and what my takeaway from it is, it's like, okay, this is a relatively new Matildas team. We had 4 or 5 plays that we were going to try. We got to about play 4. It wasn't working. It just showed that like England is a more like they just have a more experienced organization. So I think once we started to go like, oh, that slide's not working. Okay, what are we going to try next? We got to option 4 and then we went, if this doesn't work, we don't have anything set up to counteract this. They kind of just swamped us, which was sad. But I don't think the Matildas played poorly. I think we were just beaten by a really better team that afternoon.
They were just, I couldn't underemphasize just how strong England looked in that game. Every ball just seemed to find its mark when passing across. I I do want to single out one individual moment that I'm very disappointed in the Matildas for, unfortunately.
Yep.
And it was either second or third goal.
The second goal where
The
Ellie
second-
Carpenter didn't put it out.
Oh, dude, like she not only, let's not even just go back. Let's go all the way back to past midfield.
Mhm.
She's run across the line, had the ball the entire time, being followed, taking it up the entire field. It just didn't seem like they were hungry to try and attack and take the ball off, do anything, and she just kept taking it upfield, and it blew up in our face. I hate to say it looked like we weren't doing anything at that
It did.
time.
They swamped us completely. Like, it didn't matter what anyone was doing. It looked like we were completely shut down for the game. I feel bad for Ellie because it's one of those really unfortunate things where it's like you made a couple of mistakes in your game plan. If it wasn't such a massive event, it would have probably just been brushed over as a little bit of an experience. But,
You're in the world stage.
Yeah, you're on the world stage. You're in a playoff. It was the best. We're about to become the best we'd ever been.
We still are.
We still
Oh, well, not in rankings, but World
Yeah.
Cup, like, placings.
still fantastic.
Absolutely.
Like, that's what I mean. At the end of the day, it is devastating because everyone was really on board. But we need to look at the positives. England didn't fucking win.
You love
That's
to see
the main point.
That's the main thing.
And then Spain won it.
I'm fine with.
Yeah, a little bit of controversy surrounding it. Not the win itself, just the events that happened after.
What happened after?
So the president, was it the president's come under fire for kissing the player? Yeah, no, there was like a whole thing where like the Spanish president like kissed one of the players.
That's weird.
I need to look this up to confirm it. Give me a second.
Yeah.
Spain midfielder Jenny Hermoso defended Spanish Football Federation President Luis Rubiales after he came under fire for kissing her on the lips following the team's Women World Cup victory on Sunday. So it started a little bit like that. And there was some other, like, I was reading it today. There was some negative comments that were then made from Spain or something like that. Let me do a little bit more research into that one as well. You guys continue.
I like how they've, it's a peck. It's different cultures, whatever, controversy and stuff. But like that is so different to like what we're used to in sports controversy, which is, this player pissed in his own mouth. Well, you know what I mean? It's rarely ever there's like, this thing happened between like this public figure and the sports team. It's always like, it's just dipshit 20-year-olds doing 20-year-old things.
Oh, he apologized too. He's come out like, so another thing that made people feel a little bit more awkward about it. She was the only one he kissed on the lips.
Right, okay. So
Yeah, that's a bit weird.
He was also seen embracing other players in hugs and kissing them on the cheek, but he did not kiss anyone else on the lips.
Do you think? Now I have no information here, so I'm not going to say anything.
That's probably the best thing you should.
Yeah, for the first thing in my life. No, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, it's just like the little bit that's coming out the past couple of days.
Sport man does weird things to you.
Yeah.
But like, still good on the fact that like Spain are the second country in the world, I want to say, to have won both men's and women's World Cup titles now.
And is it Germany is the other one?
I believe so,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's Germany and Spain.
Like, damn, that's a very exclusive list.
We'll get there.
No, we won't. We'll never win the men's.
Yeah, we will. We'll cheat.
Have you seen
Worry
how
about
bad our team is?
Yes. Yeah.
The women will win it. The men won't.
I'm also okay with that. That'd be
Soccer is...
fantastic.
They suck.
I don't...
No man in this country wants to play football. They want to play league or something
But
because it's more fun.
Or they want to play football in England. You know what I mean? They want to join the Premier League.
Yeah, but they still count as players for the Socceroos. No, I'm saying that most people over here would want to play league, AFL, Union. I mean, they want to play one of those sports rather than soccer because it's not that big over here, relatively speaking.
And we've covered that extensively. Like,
Exactly.
that's
We don't
the
need to
fault
bring
of
it
the
up.
people. It's the fault of the country.
Yeah. It's what, as white men, we can say this is someone else's fault but ours.
Absolutely.
It is always
It's-
someone else's fault.
That's it.
I'm
Fantastic.
pretty sure that I heard they ended up committing that 200 million as well, even though like we didn't get too far.
That's okay.
Yeah, I'm just about to look it up now.
Where's our public holiday?
Yeah.
That's more important.
Alvo, if you're listening,
Public holiday,
I
please.
still would like it. It'd be nice.
A
Yeah,
day
man.
off would be nice.
So the Albanese government to pledge $200 million for women's sports after the Matildas inspire Australia. So like, it seems like they're still moving forward against it.
They were never not going to do that.
Yeah, especially once it came out, it seemed too nice of a thing. They're like, hey, whether or not we lose, we'll still do this. You know, under the mire that last time that this was promised, it was all done under pork barreling. So let's see how this one turns out. But, you know, like, I
yeah. For anyone who's listening internationally, long story short, if you see pretty much any stadium in Australia, it's government corruption built.
Yeah, I can't think of.
Oh, bros, what do you mean that it's corrupted?
It's like, and it is actually become such a big Australian political thing where it's like, no, one of our governments straight up gave money to build sporting facilities to the voters they wanted to vote for them and skipped out on fire stations for the poor people.
And I think that's fantastic because quite frankly, we need more rich people to get richer.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like, global warming's, it's inevitable. So fucking stop putting them out.
Just start playing sports.
Underwater soccer.
How do you get the ball to sink but then still kick it without hurting?
Magic.
I love that. Yeah,
fuck it. Why
magic.
Not?
Yeah.
Screw it. I'm sure we
They've
can
also got to be able to breathe under there.
Nah,
long snorkels.
No,
that's simple. That's stupid. Long snorkels.
That's stupid as hell. Just give them real...
Well, you know what? Well, hold on. I said underwater soccer. This is going to be at neck height. So the water can be at shoulder height.
Well, depends.
Then it's just fucking polo.
Yeah, that's just polo. You're not actually underwater.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
But refute.
You know what? We should just build fire stations, hey?
I'm kind of liking the idea where part of the game...
Listeners, I want to point out that neither of them said yes to that.
I did say yes.
I didn't.
Run the clip. Run the clip.
I know. I kind of like incorporating the idea of them having to breathe and like come up for air as a part of the game. Oh, I feel like that would add such a great element to the game.
Weirdly enough, you have activated a fun fact, Josh.
Oh, I love fun facts.
There is a sport in India called, I think it's called Tabati. Are you aware of this?
No.
So
there's more sport in India other than cricket?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Tabati. Jack just said that.
You fucking listen, bro.
No, I don't fucking listen.
So now, I've watched one video on this about 5 years ago. That's all I know. But a core portion of the game is when one of the players leaves the safe zone into the game area, they literally can't take a breath in. They have to keep saying Tabati, 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 Tabati.
How do you spell that?
Tabbati, maybe Tabati. It's like it's a mix kind of between like wrestling and tag, and the dude who's on the game area just can't breathe. So it's close to what you're saying.
I definitely look that up.
Is it Kabaddi?
Maybe Kabaddi?
Kabaddi.
Kabadi. Sport?
It's Kabaddi.
Let's go. That sounds cool.
Andy, you're the smart man. Tell us what it is. How close was I?
Damn,
I've got to read a... no, I'm not reading this. It's too much.
Insane looking sports here.
Yeah, man.
What
that was more than like one paragraph. I'm not reading that on Wikipedia.
Okay, this is not from India, but this looks like the coolest fucking sport in the world. Bossa Ball?
Bossa Ball
is a team sport that originated in Brazil and was conceptualized by Belgian Philip Ekmans in 2004. Bossa Ball is a ball game between two teams combining elements of volleyball, football, gymnastics with music into a sport. And that's what it looks like.
Yo. It looks like an old school set from Gladiators.
Bro, that looks like one of the fucking coolest things in the world. I'm not gonna lie. Do you use your feet? They have to use their feet.
No wonder why.
Well, it said football.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was going to be the football element, though, is that you only use your feet.
Yeah, because when we say football, it's traditionally the ball rarely touches more than one player's foot per game.
That's
true.
Man, I couldn't imagine how insanely skilled I'd have to be to do this.
See, now you've awakened just some dumb facts that I still have left in my head. So I know that basketball was originally invented to prevent delinquent teens from being delinquents, and it wasn't about scoring. They never used to keep score. It was just about exercising young boys. I had another weird sports one. But the only thing that's popping in my head is, do you know why the Kellogg brothers invented cornflakes?
Because they had too much corn?
No.
I imagine it's wait. Wait, I'm pretty sure it's some fucking real dumb virginity thing.
You are so close.
Yeah, okay.
It's an anti-masturbatory food.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's so bad. So bad. It will stop you masturbating. Oh, I'm a scientist.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. And I did an experiment. Doesn't work.
How did we get here?
Because
We're meant to be talking sport
you
ball.
said something about holding your breath, and I was like, there's this crazy Indian sport where they hold their breath, and then Andy can't read properly, so he skipped on reading it. And now I'm talking about Kellogg's.
All right, let's go back to Spain.
No, fuck Spain.
All right, fuck. You know what? It real sucks. We suck. I watched the Sweden game. We also sucked against them.
not
They
great.
played it they played better than England against us. Honestly, if they played like they played then, I think they might have been in the grand final. It was sad. It was real sad to watch. But I want to then give my running commentary on the beautiful game I watched afterwards that I managed to actually go out and see. The Dragons v Storm. Let me tell you.
Tale of two halves.
Yeah, fuck me. What a game, though. Like, if you came out and told me, the score is going to be 38-28, after watching that game, you would not believe that would be the end score. And it didn't reflect just how tight it was and how much of a game both teams put into this.
So, for full disclosure, I tipped the Storm.
Yep.
And then
Of course.
my partner was like, hey, do you want to watch it? And I went, no, I'm going to have it on my laptop while I'm playing my computer games. And then I ended up having to awkwardly sit because I was like, oh, shit, it's actually really good. I got distracted between both for the rest of the game.
And, Dragons, we pulled out 3 tries out of nowhere that I was not expecting. And now I was telling you guys a little bit about this, but I have to bring it up. And shout out to Reese for being such a good fella about it. But oh my fucking God, this dude got it.
Reese, full disclosure, Reese is he's one of the boys.
The worst type of person.
He's a Storm fan.
Yeah, he's a Storm fan.
Mm-hmm.
And he's smart. So we hate him.
Yeah, absolutely. fuck the dude.
And so where did you sit, Josh?
We sat on the hill.
The
Well,
hill.
that's the first mistake.
So, for those who's not aware, the hill, as Jack liked to describe it, is a place of lawlessness.
There are no rules on the hill.
It is a $25 ticket, and you can sit wherever you want on it, and it is some of the most packed place in probably all of the stadium.
So I have been in trouble by security in the Northern Grandstand, the Western Grandstand, and I've nearly been kicked out of the Southern Grandstand. I've never had no one say shit to me on the hill before, and I behave the same.
I don't think I've seen Sekis.
They
at
don't
the
exist,
hill. Like,
man.
They would get overrun. But there is. So it's me, there was about 6 or 7 of us, and Reese is sitting there in front, and there's at least 6 kids, 16. And oh my God, the more Dragons scored, the more just outrageous they got to this, man. They're just yelling like, oi, Storm Scarf, scoreboard. And we're all pissing ourselves laughing there. And it's just watching this game, it's a back and forth. Dragons seem to have it. It was a bit shit because the end we sat on, there was not really much action either time because we just happened to pick the sign when Dragons played well down the other end.
Yep.
Storm played well down the other end.
Rand.
But, oh my God. And then later, as the Dragon, Dragons starting to falter a little bit, Storm are coming back. They're starting to work it. Now you think, oh, nah, the boys are going to start quieting down a little bit. Fuck no.
No.
These kids were absolutely going off their rocker at him. And it just added to what was such an electric game.
You forgot the best bit because another one of your friends.
I was going to get to that bit.
We'll cut that bit there.
Because we've got to then discuss, firstly, unfortunately, Tyrell Sloan. Great, but his size really came into this game, unfortunately.
He is a man that I'll describe as easy to drag.
Oh, yeah.
Very easy to move.
That's why he's part of the Dragons, because he's dragged on out of here.
Dragged all over the field.
And it just got better, because then as the Storm, they seem to be coming back a little bit, but then Dragons had that little bit of resurgence. We're bringing the score back. And because, that's when they started chirping up. And my mate, as Reese turns away and goes to get a couple beers, looks around and says to him, his name's Reese, by the way. And,
brutal.
oh my Lord.
So good.
So fucking
Just
brutal.
The rest of the next half, it's just, oi, Reese! Scoreboard!
It's just...
Why is that whenever you're a shit team and you've got shithead fans, that's the insult they go to when you're down to that team? It's just,
What else?
Scoreboard!
What else do we got
what else are we
going
gonna
for us?
yell, bro? We're winning. Can you believe it? It's more for
Our
us.
teams are better than yours. No, they're fucking not.
No. Here's the thing. First of all, it's very selfish thinking it's about you. There's just a reminder to all of us to just check the scoreboard and enjoy it for a couple of minutes.
Oh, I really
don't know why you're being
enjoy
so
it.
sensitive about it.
But all in all, though, I truly reckon the Dragons showed a lot more in this game than they have been showing in a few weeks. Even under Carr, I think this is probably one of their more standout games.
That's what I mean. It's been such an interesting year because when you look at the table, it should be one of our worst years ever. But there have been so many games this year where it's like we were just not good enough to win. We gassed out with 10 minutes to go. Maybe one of us did a wonky kick. Someone did something else. But that's like the story of this year where it's like, I think I can remember 6 games where, like a coin toss, right? Like
Yeah,
genuinely.
there were just really, really close games throughout this year, but it's more indicative of an overall performance that we are not 80-minute players. And
No respect for the setup. Just, what are you looking at?
what's that?
Well, I get distracted easily.
Listen, Mr. ADHD.
Working on it.
Yeah, so all in all, positive game. We felt good about it.
Let's talk about the real positive game over the weekend.
Here we go.
right, Andy.
Now,
Go on,
Because
son.
it doesn't matter.
Roosters can make the 8.
Doesn't matter how shit the Dragons played or how good they played and they nearly won, because the Chookies can make the 8.
You gave up on
I
this
gave up
team.
on them 6 weeks ago, and now they've proven me wrong.
First of all, motherfucker, you gave up on them every single week of the year except last week.
Yeah, I have to admit, on this podcast specifically, everything else outside, you're really good. But any take you make on this sports podcast, the universe goes, nah. Fuck you. You're dumb.
Yeah. So anyway, you guys did well.
We did do well.
Yeah, give us a recap.
We won.
Yep. Did you watch the game?
No. No, unfortunately, I was stuck in the fucking... Well, that was the Knights game. I was stuck in the car for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
What day was the Chooks on?
They were on Saturday.
That was working.
Friday, sorry. Friday at, I think that's the first game?
Yeah, it should have been.
I think I was actually spending the night with my partner, trying to forget that the footy was on.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
To be fair, if you're going to watch any game, I'm really surprised you didn't watch this one. Like, an absolutely wounded Eels with no playmaker versus a kind of we can still make it Roosters team.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I couldn't watch it because if I watched it, I'd have hope.
Oh, but I know that feeling. Hope hurts.
Hope really hurts, and that's why I will not be watching the Tigers game either, or the Rabbits game next week if it turns out to be what it's looking like. I won't watch it.
Man, let me
Do
tell
you need to win every game?
We have to win both games. We absolutely have to because the Rabbits have the bye this week.
I
what do
wish.
you put your chances at knowing that Latrell's not playing?
A better chance than most.
That's a fair
Because
assessment.
because the Rabbits have been so dreadful for so long now, they have no right to be in the 8. Now that Latrell's out, that's their best player gone.
For a grubby player once, mind you.
Yeah, who did he elbow in the back of
Tyson Frizzell.
Just led with his elbow.
Don't.
Nothing else
It was
in
the
stupid.
Stupid, right?
Oh,
Like,
my goodness.
everybody saw it. It was that dumbass meme where everyone just smacks themselves on the forehead at the same time. It's like, why, man?
It's
Like,
And
at
he
least-
came out today. He's like, "Oh, I'm really filthy at myself for doing that. Like, I've been working really hard to get this out of my game, and it's just a stupid brain snap causes me to miss
the
the
classic-
literally most important game of the Rabbit season."
The classic, my only regret is I didn't get away with it.
Yeah.
Sure, bud, you've been a grub for years before that. This ain't going to be anything new for you.
And keep it in the game. Fucking fantastic.
I mean, he also
Anything
has...
that hurts the Rabbits.
It's also come under fire at the moment about his beer drinking with Luke Brooks.
What do you mean, Luke Brooks? It was Luke
No, sorry,
Combs.
Luke Combs. My bad. Luke Combs. Yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't.
Yeah, I know, but
It's
it's now
nothing.
it's painting him in a negative
No,
light.
what's painting him in a negative light is his performance on Saturday before the elbow, where 3/4 of the time, whenever the Rabbits made a break, you'd think your fullback would be the first person there ready to do it. Latrell's waddling up the back of the field.
Well, this
Just with his hands on his feet, he's just like, fuck that, I'm not running.
plays a little bit more into what you're saying, or what I was saying though, because being seen drinking beer, I don't want to say too much, but obviously, he does have
A gut.
a gut, and
Pudgy.
he, doing shit like this is probably also keeping his fitness down, especially after being off for 10 weeks at the start of the year.
No offense to him, but he's 15 kilos too heavy to be a fullback. He's 15 kilos too heavy to be a fullback.
And that's the thing. We've seen him in a lighter trim, and we saw how dominant he was when he was kept within that.
He's the perfect weight to be a centre.
Yeah, genuinely.
literally-
Or second rower at this fucking size.
I know, right?
He'd be
But
devastating.
he'd be better on an edge than out the back now.
Are we bringing dad boards back to NRL?
Bro,
Please, Blocker will feel better about himself.
I'll fucking feel better about myself. What are you talking about?
I feel like this is a sport for me. See dudes with little bits of fat hanging out their shirts.
Not again.
Did you bite your lip?
Punch myself in the face with a microphone again.
Nothing's better than when fucking Georgie Rose used to play. He had a beer gut and a half.
Yeah.
He could only play 15 minutes at a time.
What a dominant first half performance.
Yeah, but
He was dominant.
them 2 hit-ups, bro, you've never seen anything fucking like him in your life.
Yeah, he
before.
ran through everyone else, but man, when he got halfway down the field, he was like, hold up,
Where's the
fellas, just give
fucking
me a sec."
Well,
Your ball. Fuck
this
this.
is from a few years ago. Andy, I think you'll remember this. The goalie in Div fucking 17 English football who used to eat pies in goal. And then people started betting on it. And this loops back to the corruption thing at the start because then he was insider trading on whether he'd eat a pie or not.
Yeah, I did hear about this.
So it doesn't matter which way you cut it. Big boy in goals, keeping the carbs up, getting some fucking protein in the system. Got the sport in a lot of trouble because he was throwing bets about eating a fucking pie.
You love to see it.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I still wish we did an all-star weekend for NRL. And yeah, we do an all-star game.
Yeah.
So, firstly, we'll talk about Warriors Seagulls. Huge controversy coming from that game.
What, the Ruben Garrick thing?
Absolutely the Ruben Garrick thing.
Nothing wrong with it. Move on.
Okay, so what? Now, I don't know what happened.
His back's fractured.
You're taken
Right.
out.
Okay, so first of all, what I was going to say before I found out what happened is the fact that you're concerned that he's not means something incredibly violent has occurred. So Ruben Garrick's had his back broken.
Yep, it's fractured.
Bad fracture,
He's out for the season.
Yeah.
it's 2 weeks, bro. You do anything, you're out for the fucking season at this point.
But it did not look pretty. Because it was...
Because it was Clockstat was just under him and he was trying for the ball, yeah.
They were saying they're both trying for the ball, and that's
But Clockstat didn't leave the ground.
that's what they're trying to now get changed. Because, obviously, the rules where you're not allowed to, tackle a player with a midair, you run into the risk of injuring them. Yep. Now, it's if you're both going up for the ball like this, and you have one player in the air, one player in the not, it can cause a lot of problems, especially if legs get tangled up in a body. You have a lot more stability in one player, not on the other.
Yeah.
And that's what caused him. And fuck, when he hit the ground,
It was pretty bad.
Oh, it was not pretty. And so now Seabold's come out and he's asked, he's calling for reviews into these rules because now
People's backs shouldn't get broken playing footy. It's
You know what? Seabold's got a lot more to worry about than fucking Ruben Garrick having a fractured back. He's paying $800,000 for a fat second row who's playing reserve grade this week.
Hey, have some respect, man. He's going to be the best fucking player at SG Ball next year, and you know it.
Wait, we talking about Schuster?
Yeah.
We are talking about Schuster.
The best player in Resis.
Oh, Schuster Bud. What
He's not even the best player in Reggie's. He can barely play.
How many runs did he get in his 25-minute stint?
0 runs in 26 minutes. That's not even trying. That's tear his contract up immediately.
Bro, how you stand in the middle of the field and don't get the ball? You're in the middle.
Who they bringing back up?
Who cares?
No, they said they'll bring
Johns?
someone.
Cooper?
Well, no,
No,
because Jake
no.
Arthur's been starting at 6 for a while. He's been told he's not playing 6 ever again.
No, he is being replaced by someone.
Well, yeah, because he got dropped to Rezzies. Have to be replaced by someone if you're playing. Oh, and they're playing the Doggies this week too. Fucking hell.
Damn, I can't even find the article now.
Because
Is it Woods? Or has Woods been playing?
No, it's not Woods.
Woods in 6.
Chan
I
Kum Tong?
Nah, I really cannot. If I can if I can remember.
I'm not shitting you. His name is Gordon Chan Kum Tong.
Get that?
K-U-M.
Obviously.
Ben Trebojevic? Olakawatu?
I'm looking it up. Wow.
Cappy? I'm just going through all their players that are fucking...
DCE 2.
That's right.
DCE
They
2.
cloned
They
him?
cloned. Can you believe it?
Yes, yes, I can.
All right. Here's a genuine question, though. If you could clone one NRL player, who would you clone?
Joey Manu.
It's
Ben
not a bad
Hunt.
choice. That's also a good choice.
Two-gun Joey Manu's in the centre? Thank you. That's a win.
Terrifying.
Ben Hunt in fucking 5'8" and halfback.
No, you'd have Ben Hunt at hooker and halfback.
No, man, I want.
You'd have him at his best
controlling
position.
left and right.
I'd just clone him twice. But then I'm worried, like,
Why not 17 times?
why not 17 Benny Hunts?
Because there's no fat boys.
Yeah, who
you don't
cares?
need
You've
it.
got
You Ben 17 Ben Hunts. Can you imagine? Would you rather fight one normal size Ben Hunt or 17 Sloan size Ben Hunts?
They're both going to kick my ass.
Yeah, bro, we get fucking towed up. Other games.
I'll get. All right. What else we got? We had West Tigers versus Dolphins. Now,
Okay, before you talk about that,
I've got a fun fact too.
who gives their player that's leaving, who's been there for 10 years, he's been the punching bag for 10 years,
Sorry, I forgot about this.
a fucking barbecue?
Are you aware of this?
No.
They bought and did an on-field presentation with Luke Brooks, and they're like, "Thanks so much, man. Here's a Weber."
Dead set.
That's what happened.
They gave him a fucking barbecue.
I mean, if you're going to go out.
And I wish I saw the photo earlier because I would have been tagging fucking Zach Lomax in it. Paul Vaughan would be getting tagged in it. That's how you get a barbecue done.
No, you know what the best part about it was on 100% footy or whatever the Channel 9 show is that's on a daily, they're bringing it up and Gus is sitting there, he's deadpanning it, and he's just
Gus.
like, they're not fucking serious.
It was almost surreal, right? Like, it's like, what the fuck am I watching?
That's just Tigers to a T. Like, it's seriously the Tigers to the T. It's like, how do we fuck this up? Let's give him a barbecue as a goodbye gift.
I just think they should have given him a bit of the turf and went, now you'll always have Tigers and you can always remember how badly you suck.
Yeah.
But where's the jersey? Where's the gold watch? You know, all the normal things you get when you leave a club after
Because
being
they've
a
already-
punching bag for 10
They
years.
paid him so much he already has all of it.
Also,
I mean,
it
who
blew
gets the-
my mind that a fucking NRL player doesn't own a barbecue at this point. Like,
I mean, who walks away with the final laugh here? The Tigers or Luke Brooks?
Luke
'Cause
Brooks.
Luke Brooks fucking got paid $1 million for how many seasons?
10 years, like nearly 10 years he was on $1 million, left with a fucking barbecue. His wife's a fucking babe. And he never has to try ever again.
But now he's playing for Manly.
Yeah, he never has to try while DCE's there.
Well, that's who's replacing Schuster, right?
No, he's gone.
Makes
for-
sense.
But funny enough, because of the outcome of last weekend's game between Tigers and Dolphins, in which Tigers won by field goal,
Classic Tigers.
Wayne Bennett now has his lowest ever placing in the history of NRL.
Wow.
Yep.
Smallest violin playing because I couldn't care less.
You loved it, but you love to see it.
I do. I couldn't
Like,
care less. That
I
he's-
don't think Wayne has...
Wait, he didn't do worse at the Knights?
Nope. This is the singular worst result he's ever produced.
So, follow-up question. Wayne coached at the Knights?
Yeah, 2 years.
Yeah, he was at the
Boyd
Knights for
followed
like...
him. We lost Darius for a bit. It was real sad.
Oh, yes. No, I do remember that.
Because he went from you boys to the Knights, Darius left, and everyone was like, oh, thank fuck.
I liked him a little bit.
Darius was the worst.
And then
yeah.
he went to Rabbits.
But like, I know. I think it's quite. It's just now showing the crack that's indicative of the Dolphins, and that just means I also had one of the dumbest takes of this year. I was so confident in Dolphins. I
Well,
really just.
But here's the thing. That's taken like a risk on a hope. I remember some of my takes at the start of the year. Para Grand Final. That was, I remember coming in hot. Para Grand Final, Dogs in the 8. So, like, you were not doing too many nights, 15th, I said. Like, I'm fucking dumb as hell, bro.
Goes to show you do need that X Factor superstar, though.
Absolutely, yeah. Without it, just teams are crumbling. Rabbits, nothing at the start of the year. Eels now, nothing. Fucking...
It's funny.
Yeah, I love
It's
it.
funny that the Rabbits are out.
Well, you've got the
When are they out?
Tigers and then the Rabbits, right?
Yep. So that's...
When
Come
you guys
on.
get beat by a fucking field goal this
if we get
weekend,
beat by the Tigers,
the
I
show's
might...
over. It's never going
There's no episode next week if they get beat by the Tigers.
Oh, no, there will be an episode. Don't you
No,
worry.
I'm not inviting this to my house. I'll keep the door locked.
I've got one microphone in my house. We're speaking to the same one.
I'm not editing it. You can
I'll
do
do
it.
We'll happily share it. Let me tell you, it's just a live commentary of us watching the game's replays.
and then texting Andy about it.
Like, and if you look right here, this is the part where Andy's heart breaks in half.
Again.
I hate that I have hope that they can make the 8 now.
Well,
I
that-
really do. I hate it. 6 weeks ago, I was happy.
Yeah, you were.
I had given up. I was like, I'm done.
You're like us.
I'm a few weeks away from the Premier League. I'm a few more weeks away from the NBA. I am done following sports for a few weeks.
Which is good those are coming out because you've got two very good teams in those sports.
No, I fucking don't.
Nah, you be
I have
fine.
heartbreak in though. Although, actually, no, let's move to the English Premier League because West Ham played Chelsea on the weekend. And Chelsea have spent the most money for the second year in a row in the transfer window. That's why when they lost to 10 people at West Ham, the crowd started chanting, how much money and your fucking shit?
And they went for a long time.
3-1. Beaten by 10 men. And they're 200
Who got
million.
sent off?
One of our backs got sent off. Like one of our centre backs. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, whatever.
But more importantly, their $200 million signings had the two worst debuts in club history. They spent $100 million to get these two here each, and they both sucked. One gave away a penalty that stealed the 3-1 victory, and the other was just terrible for 31 minutes.
Fucking hell. And like I don't mind Chelsea as a club.
I hate them.
Well, when I got it was a Game Boy Advanced FIFA game.
Oh, God. And
I
you
do.
picked Chelsea?
Well, the game picked it for me.
Oofed.
So, but then I remember a couple of years ago I switched to the Saints, and I'm pretty
Speaking
sure
of-
they're getting relegated.
No, they have been relegated.
There you go.
And their captain has just signed with West Ham
Ah,
because he didn't want to play in the fucking championship. He was like, all right, I'm going to West Ham.
I guess I'm going to go for the fucking Bubbles team now. So yeah, if you think Dragons doing bad is rough, Josh, my team literally got kicked out of the fucking sport this year.
What is it with you and following the bad Saints?
Name one good Saint.
Exactly. Jack follows all of them.
New Orleans Saints, they're not that great.
Do you like them?
No, I'm actually a fucking Philly. I'm a big Philly sports
Hey,
fan.
that's back.
Yes.
The NFL's back.
So, are you aware of the history of Philly sports fans?
Philly sports great. It's just almost as good as Cleveland sports fans.
Well, but they're very different energies. They're on opposite ends of the spectrum. Cleveland are dumb idiots with their sports fans.
Philly are angry.
Philly's angry. So,
Philly riots.
Are
Yes.
they the ones that had to lube up?
Yes.
Yep.
and they had to lube the polls up in case they lost or won. And
You just
they
had to
won.
lube it up.
And they still destroyed half the city.
Whereas LeBron brings Cleveland a fucking championship and they're rioting for how long? A night?
Night. Other things, they also threw batteries at a Santa Claus at a...
We've talked about that.
We have.
Hmm.
You weren't. You threw batteries at one of them at a Santa Claus because his sleigh got stuck in the snow, so they just pelted him
with
with batteries and snowballs and beers. It's just...
Well, that poor man.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
great.
Yeah. Oh, fun fact. That wasn't the Santa they hired for the show. That was some dipshit who was wearing a Santa costume in the stands and they brought him down. If the shoe fits. So, yeah, I'm a big Philly... Except for basketball, because Ben Simmons was there. So then I decided to switch to the Nets. So then Ben Simmons went to the fucking Nets.
So you can go to the 76ers.
Nah, Perth Wildcats. Fuck it, different sport now.
Yeah, fair, all right. That's a terrible take.
Honestly, if I'm going for a sports team, pick any other team. It will do better.
I'd say that about the rest of my sports teams as well.
Yeah.
Chicago Bulls, they suck. They're not the powerhouse of the 90s that MJ made them. West Ham, they barely beat relegation last year. Barely. And then sold their best player.
Yeah. Yep.
fucking Sydney FC sucked last year.
I don't think I've watched a single A-League game.
I've only watched them
On
for
purpose.
work.
Well, Josh just found something. He's wearing the face.
A rugby league website has been left with egg on its face after a match report from an NRLW game over the weekend went pear-shaped. And apparently it's because instead of opening to the story about the match, the article contained prompts from ChatGPT on what shouldn't and shouldn't be included.
Yeah, I did say that. It's kind of funny.
What was the publication?
Here's how... I don't know, but here's the... Oh, God. Here's how things got underway. They're saying this is the prompts. You are an experienced sports journalist. You are required to rewrite the following article. You're required to be extremely detailed. You're required to utilize Australian English spelling. You must ensure the article you generate is different from the original article to avoid plagiarism detection. You should not duplicate large portions of a paragraph or a sentence. You are required to use short paragraphs typical of an experienced journalist. Each paragraph should not exceed, at most, 3 or 4 sentences. You're fucking kidding me.
Like, we have all used an AI software at one point, right? Everyone has.
Yeah, I have heaps of fun doing it.
Yeah. It's very easy not to fuck that shit up.
It's not.
Like,
it's very simple.
It's very simple.
I think it's...
Well, 2 lawyers in the US got fired because they used AI to find case documents, and the AI just invented fake cases.
Dude, there's like... I'm pretty sure there was a thing that came out about how often the military used it. The Australian military or something like that got caught using it. And I'm pretty sure it was 563 times, if I remember correctly.
That's fucking gold. That's gold. Because another military one was when they were all wearing Fitbits and running around bases in Afghanistan. The Taliban would just look on their phones at where all the runners were and like, well, there's the base right there. And fucking fire mortars at it because it was a US thing. So all the US guys had Fitbits on and they just pulled up the heat map and they went, well, there's those motherfuckers right there. Send the rocket.
Like, I don't know. I feel like it's indicative. And now comes let's make a point about all this. Sports journalism is really going to start deriving into nothing if they're deciding to use ChatGPT, because even though you can do a detailed report of the events, it's going to be quite concerning to see a bot that did not watch the game give a recap of the game, and it's already showing in their, the way they write and things are presented across.
So what you're saying is no real difference from a bunch of white robots just writing shit down.
Look, see, at least tell they've watched 5 minutes of the game before they fell asleep.
You do make a valid point. I guess AI is going to be that big cultural or the big technological evolution that we will have to fucking handle at least one day.
Yeah, and
so I'm getting out
movies
early right now. Big fan of robots. If you're listening from the future, I didn't say fucking shit.
I don't want the robots to murder me, please.
Unless they're hot. In which case...
Death by snooze.
Come get me.
Look, I don't want Skynet to kill me, but I probably will.
No, Jack, I want to go back to the fact that Jack wants to fuck hot robots.
You know you could do that in Japan?
So hold on. No. So there's a couple of stories that need to be answered right now. First of all, you all made me feel weird when I spoke about the vending machines with the undies in them. And now you're telling me that you had sex with a robot in Japan.
No, I didn't.
This exclusive. It's on NR3. Andy.
I'm going to ask Renee all about this when she gets home.
Oh, she doesn't care. She was fucking the other male robot.
You ask her about this. She's like, what? She doesn't realize that there's lifelike robots over there that you can do that with. Well, no, maybe she does. She did see that reel.
I'm so...
I'm so glad you're going to Japan because you're going to have a great time at these places.
Listen, man. I'm going to get banned for the things I'm going to do over there.
Look, and with that, I think it's time to wrap up before we get cancelled.
I would like that to be cut.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Does anyone else have any sports they wish to speak about? Because I have one more.
Ooh,
you can both check out. It's about baseball. But
Talking about
Turn
baseball.
my fucking microphone back on.
Try to talk about baseball on this podcast.
Well, you
This is a
will find
sports
this
podcast, not an activity
interesting.
podcast.
This is an activity. This isn't activities.
which is fine. This is why it's interesting. So there is a player who is currently playing for one of the LA teams. Don't you touch the fucking volume, Dob. Who is not only...
Good night, see ya.
He is the best pitcher of the year, the best batter of the year,
Okay, so he's on drugs.
and his team's coming last. He's having one of the most... He's playing better than Babe Ruth played when Babe Ruth was at his height, and his team's in last place. That's all I wanted to say.
Well, like, how much better?
I don't know.
You're a great baseball fan.
I've watched like 15 compilations of baseball fights. I think I know what I'm talking about.
You are probably the most
Knowledgeable.
He's the most knowledgeable on
Baseball.
baseball
Yeah,
here.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well,
So I'm going to take your word for it. He is the GOAT. So whoever he is, he's now my hero.
I can't even remember his name. We have social. We have social media. We're at Bums on the Bench everywhere. Can you boys take your heads off the desk? I think I've been very well behaved. And we'll be back next week.
Maybe.
God,
No,
I love
I'll be
this
here.
show.
See ya.
I guess I'll be here.
Bye.
Love you.